am Dr. Santhy from Materials and Metallurgical Engineering Department, Indus University. Today we are going to look at Damascus sword. If you look at that Damascus sword, in the 12th and 13th century, the Europeans, the Crusaders, they are fighting with the West Asia Muslims in the name of the God. When they are fighting, they are amazing about the sword which the West Asian people are used, because the sword able to cut the feather in the air and also the sharp edges even in multiple battles. So they amazed about the sword. The next thing what they will do, they will look for that where they can get the sword, and is it possible to trade it, or what is the material they used, and is it possible to get the material, and how that material make this amazing thing. So that is the journey for the Damascus sword. So the Europeans, when they have started digging about where they can get the sword, they found that it is from the city of Syria, Damascus. So they traded the sword from Damascus. The simplest way, we know that the sword got the name of the city, Damascus. Once they got the sword, then they are looking for that how this material behave in this way. So where the Syria people got this material. So if that material is behaving in that way, they are also use the steel for making the sword. Why that steel does not have this property? So they are always looking at that exploration to find the secret between the Damascus sword. Today we are going to look at the secret of the Damascus sword, where the people are looking for in centuries. We all know that the timeline or the period, we are talking in terms of Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age. So it indicates that metallurgy plays a vital role. Metallurgy is a field which is talking about the extraction of metal, purification, alloying and making a product in terms of metals. So even though the metallurgy, it was established in the proper systematic way by the modern scientists in 19th century, but people working in the metallurgy in 2500 years before. If you look at the comparison of the hardness, we are able to compare with the copper and bronze. Because of the alloying, bronze has the higher hardness. We are able to compare with the bronze and the wrought iron. It is going to higher hardness than bronze. Then we have to compare with the Damascus one. Whenever we are talking about the metals, immediately we will think about the blacksmith. So we observe that the blacksmith working on the metals in the room temperature and also the red hot. So it indicates that based on the temperature, the metals going to behave. Not only the heat treatment, it is also about how they cooled. If they are cooling in room temperature, or if they are cooling in very slowly, or if they are quenching in water, the property will varies. The Damascus sword, when they are doing the heat treatment, the hardness, if you look at that, it is 6 times higher than the bronze. That's why the European amazed and looking for the Damascus sword. We all know that the Damascus sword got the name from the capital of Syria, Damascus. So people called us as a Damascus steel also. It is not only have the very good mechanical properties, it is also have a pattern. It is like a pattern of sand in the desert or water pattern. So in the Arab language, the Damascus indicates about the water pattern. It is not only from the name of the city, it is also from the pattern. So people are amazed because iron is a high temperature metal, how it is possible to make this water like pattern. So when they are looking for these properties, they found that where they are able to get the steel. So the steel actually came from the India. Even we don't know that, when we are revealing about all this aspect, we come to know that it is from India. If you look at that, Pearson, who is a European scientist, he is talking about the Indian steel in 1785 in Royal Society of London. he coined the word wood steel. Dr. Ranganathan, he is the well-known metallurgist in the world. He bringing the term woods came from the anglicized version of the Uggu in Kannada and Andhra and Eggu from Tamil Nadu. If you look at their language, in Tamil Sangam literature, it was 2500 years before, there are talking about the three different steels. One is about Irumbu, that is about the pure iron, and Eggu, it is about the steel, and Imbu, it is about the cast iron, three different varieties in the songs of Purananuru and Kurundagai. So, in this term, still now it is in usage of Kannada, Andhra and Tamil Nadu. If you look at the history, we all know about the Alexander the Great who won the world, who fight with the Porus king of the Indian emperor. So, he faced the problem of the climate and first time he is seeing the elephant in the war. In addition, he is also amazed about this war. When he defeated the Porus, Porus gave the gift of the sword. In addition, he gave the ferrous on the other way wood steel as a gift to the Alexander. There is a painting in the Sail Ranchi. It is showing very clearly that Porus king gave the sword to the Alexander. The person who is standing next to Porus carrying the gold box with the cast iron, on the other way wood steel. So, it indicates that the value of the wood steel is higher than the gold. It is not only recorded in the Indian literature, it is also observed in the Roman literature. When they are looking for the ferrous crucible in India, they found that various archaeological sites in India. They found that one is in Hellur, Karnataka. The crucible is made in 1100 BC. In the same way, Kodumanal in Erode district of Tamil Nadu, they also find the crucible which is 300 BC. The Kodumanal in Erode, it is not only the trading center, it is also traded about the cloths to the Roman. So, it indicates that in various places we are able to get it. So, this is the map which shows about the various archaeological sites where we are able to get that crucible. When we are looking at the wood steel, it is believed to be made by the iron sponge with the charcoal and they heated far less than the melting point of the iron for quite a long time to get the ingot. So, in 1823 and 24, Bernard, he revealed that the percentage of carbon in the ingot, it is about 1 to 2%. But in the European steel, if you observe that, they are using the carbon less than 1%. Normally, if the carbon greater than 1%, then it is become the brittle in nature. But in the wood steel, people observed that it is with 1 to 2%, but it has a super plasticity and also a good strength. So, that is the property which make the European look for the wood steel. In the year of 19th century, the Indian government gave a sword, that is about the Damascus sword, to US country to study about this wood steel. The Indian government mentioned that it is in the period of 1640 AD. So, Wordsworth got the opportunity to study about this wood steel, on the other way Damascus sword. So, he found that the carbon percentage is about 1.9 wet percentage and it has a phase of pro-eutectide cementite and eutectide phase. I will come to this one bit later. In addition, they found that the corner of the swords are corroded. It indicates that amount of carbon is very less in the corners, and in addition they find that magnesium sulfide as a inclusion. Even though the Indian government mentioned that the sword believed to be 1640 AD, they did the carbon dating test. They found that the year is between 1640 to 1670 AD. So, it indicates that it is in the same period of as the government mentioned. In addition, they are looking for the microstructure. The structure property relationship plays a vital role in metallurgy. If the carbon amount is 1 to 2%, normally people will expect cementite and eutectite phase. But when Wordsworth started working on that, he is able to identify pro-eutectite cementite, that is about the alloy of iron and carbon Fe3C and eutectite phase. In addition, he magnified further, he found that it is having that spheroidized cementite in the iron matrix. So, compared to the normal structure, it is deviated, but this is alone not sufficient to understand the properties of the Damascus what. So, in 2004, people are looking at the sophisticated equipment like transmission electron microscope. They found that cementite nanotube in the Damascus what. So, nanotube, if you look at that, people are talking about the 19th century, but in the BC itself, the ancient Indians able to make the cementite nanotubes. Now, we are not able to make cementite nanotubes, we are able to make only carbon nanotube. But during that period, they made the cementite nanotube in such a way to bring that structure. In addition, they are looking for that how it is get the strength. So, most of the dislocations are arrested by the cementite nanotube which bring the strength. So, people think that yeah, they got some information. Is it sufficient? No. In 2006, once again the people are started working in that field using the transmission electron microscope. They dissolved the small amount of Damascus what in the hydrochloric acid. Before that they did not use it. When they dissolve small amount of hydrochloric acid, then they are able to reveal not only cementite nanotube, they are also found carbon nanotube. So, we are able to look at that carbon nanotubes give the flexibility, cementite give the strength. In addition, they observed that the cementite nanotube is encapsulated by the carbon nanotube. So, it is prevent the cementite in such a way for quite long period. So, in addition, the carbon nanotubes, they are able to look at the bended structure. So, that brings the wavy pattern in the Damascus what, and also it gets the strength and the sharpness able to retain for quite long period. Is this sufficient? No, we need some more studies in the Damascus SWOT. But the problem is, right now we do not know the technology, how to make it. So, that is the major problem we are facing now. But if you look at that, in current technology, people are also making the Damascus steel. Whatever we mentioned Damascus steel, now it is called as true Damascus steel or genuine Damascus steel. So, which is made by the single casting forging. On the other way, right now people are making that wavy pattern by bringing the laminate of two different composition of this steel and then doing the welding or in the hot forging. In such a way they are able to bring it, but not the exact property of the genuine Damascus what. Thank you.